should you stop giving?
You understand the question, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Ni kujifanya unajifanya. Najua. Nitakugonga.
Ni sawa tu. Kama kuna rules usiongee hadi mtu amalize kuongea. Okay, shut up.
How do you make that sound? I don't understand.
You should stop giving when you've reached your limits. You know?
But how do you know where that is?
You set your own limits. Like, I can give to this capacity. If it's more than this, then no. Or
for example?
Or if someone is, okay, say, you know what your limits are.
Some people don't.
Then you should stop giving until you know what your limits are. You should set your own limits.
Maskia.
Just evaluate your life. No, this is what I'm willing to give. This is what I'm willing to save. This is what I'm willing to spend right now. Well, like money. You have your savings, you have your checking, and you have your future. Like 401k. I don't even know what that is, but I'm just using it. For real.
401k. Yeah. I don't know what I mean. I think it's a good thing. I don't know what it is.
So, nikuuliza Magi.
Yeah. Like, unajua venye watu wakienda kanisa, these charities, they're like, oh, give and you shall receive. Alafu unaona mtu amepatiana like their whole life.
Everything. Yeah, my grandfather is like that.
Unajipata chini ya bridge, unauliza, oh, how did you be homeless? Oh, I used to be a CEO, but then I gave too much. Know your limits.
Yeah.
Don't just
but is it important, so then let me ask a follow-up question. So is it important to give, one, and then two, is it important to make sure that you as a person have got yourself sorted, and that you're not see like you always give from yourself, from your extra, but when you're giving, even if you're taking from your regular store, unajua vile nyumbani tuko na store, reserve, thank you very much, from your regular reserve, right? Should you make sure that you're taken care of, or should you just nakupatia kwa sababu nakupenda na ikinirudia itanirudia, and if it doesn't come back to me, then it doesn't come back to me?
No, you give.
But I like what you said. No, that's what question. Yeah, no, but
okay, go ahead.
I was just supporting you.
Now see what it feels like.
I was just supporting you now.
No, go ahead.
No, I said I like what you said, that if you don't know what your limits are, you should stop giving until you do, because I think a lot of people have that problem where they don't know, because a lot of people don't know their limits. You know what I mean? Because you get, especially like for me and my family, there's a guilt thing. You know what I mean? Where you feel guilty for not giving what everybody else was giving, or when you feel guilty for you having and somebody else not having, and now they call you and they're like, you're greedy, you're this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a guilt thing. So you don't know what the cap is. You know what I mean? Are you even allowed to have a cap? Is that godly, or is it part of our Kenyan culture? You know what I mean? Like, is that okay in our culture to get to a point where you're like, like right now I can't, or right now I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I like the fact that you said, as hard as that can be, because it can be really hard, you know what I mean, to stop giving, because then you feel like a bad person, and then you feel greedy, and then you feel like, okay, if I'm not giving, then what am I doing? You know what I mean? Am I being selfish? You know what I mean? You start questioning yourself and who you are and blah, blah, blah. It really can be hard, especially for us. I don't know if it's been like that for you, but for me, it was hard to figure out, okay, am I allowed to do that? Is that okay? Can I not give? Like, is that a thing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like you, did you have to get to a point where you had to, like, figure out when that was for you? Like, when was that for you? Have you ever gotten to that point where you're like, okay, whoa, I have to stop? You've never gotten there?
I've never gotten there, because my mom is always like, okay, these people want your help. Yes, it's okay to help them. But, as you said, God says he will help those who help themselves. Okay. So I'm over here busy helping you, and you're not busy helping yourself. And then I forget to help myself. When am I going to get that time to help myself? So let me help myself first, and if I do have the time, I will help you. See?
So you've never gotten to a point where you have to kind of question yourself?
No.
But then
I think one day I will get there.
No, I know. I know, but I'm asking because I don't know. Unless
you know what a good analogy is? You know when they make that pyramid with champagne glasses, and they fill the top pyramid, and when that fills, it starts to overflow,
and
it goes to the closest people, which is your family. You support your family with that overflow, that first layer with that overflow.
That's
and when you're able to fill their cups, then you're able to move on, expand further. And the more you get, if your cup keeps getting filled, the more overflow you have.
For other people. Word, that's really good.
But it also depends on who mentored you when you were young, as you grew up.
True.
If they are the type of people to give without helping themselves, then
you're probably gonna be one of those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then
which is for me that was my upbringing. You know what I mean? Because I am a child of two diehard givers. Like if you ask for their blood, the one that you're saying, the blood in their veins, they'll give it to you. You know what I mean? They're those kinds of people. So to come from that and to have the strength to be like, okay, no. You know what I mean? Because you have to get to a point where you say no. Because if you don't, utanyonywa, and you'll be left dry like a raisin. And nobody will think twice about it. They will just go to the next. Because there's these people in life that's what they do. They latch on to the people that are giving. Yeah. They latch on to the givers. And then what? Ukikauka, wanaenda mahali pengine. That means if they dry up, you go somewhere else. Okay?
Basically, they're mosquitoes.
Yeah. If they dry up, they go somewhere else.
But then, what I also realized somewhere along the way is that kind of giving or that kind of kujitolea is not, as much as we may call it, in the it's because I love. It's not in the name of love.
No.
You're trying to fulfill yourself by giving.
By giving. You haven't,
it's selfish. It doesn't come in as much as you think it comes from a good place. It doesn't necessarily, because how can you? It's the same simple thing. God says, love yourself, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So first you have to love yourself first before you can do. And
that's one of the
exactly. Amesema with the champagne. Lazima ujijaze kwanza ndio ujaze.
I love that champagne.
Go get her some champagne.
Okay, hold on. Don't do another one without me, please. And don't change your question, because I know
without you not hearing us from over there.
I don't want to hear
some champagne. So, hii maneno utaifanyaje na wale wengine wakikuja?
What are these socks?
We can't go through this whole box by the time.
No, it doesn't matter, sweetie. Don't worry about that. You worry about yourself.
Am I worried? I just said.
No, it doesn't matter. Just be quiet.
Your fridge umeifunga.
Why don't you want me to talk?
Because
Shika.
I'm tired of it. Okay, pick yours.
You told me to shut up.
Huyu jamaa atakuwa na shida.
Thank you. Oh God. Can I get another one?
No. What is it?
All right. Birth control? ? Condoms? ? Condoms is birth control. So we'll put that over there. Abortion? ? How do you feel about it? You wrote this one.
Why you mad at me? Why you mad at me?
So how do I feel? How do I feel about it?
Where's my water?
I think this is a personal choice for everybody, because I can't tell anyone what to do with their body, but I can encourage that you protect yourself, because I am a single mother. My son was not planned. So as far as having sex, use protection. I don't like using chemicals, and at some point I was like fully against birth control, but it came to a point where you realize that you may end up getting pregnant and you're not ready for it. So what do? Do you avoid sex altogether, or do you protect yourself so that you don't end up getting pregnant? So this is where it becomes a personal choice. I'm on birth control now, but I'm about to be off of it, not because I'm ready to have a child, but because I don't feel that it agrees with my body. Condoms, use them, please. Don't abuse them, though. Abortion.
Can you abuse condoms?
Yeah, when you're like people. that when I have sex every 2 minutes.
Or that reuse the same condom.
No, don't do that.
That's an abuse of
No,
condom. For you to,
you cannot
the audacity for you to now bang like this, and now remove, and then you say, no, again.
Ew. You're not even supposed to do that.
Ew, people do it. People do it.
They give out free condoms. They have free condoms.
Not everywhere though.
Go
Not
get them.
everywhere though. Not everywhere though.
But find where they have them for free.
It's not always accessible.
But you can also.
It's
get
not always
cheap condoms,
accessible.
too. Like you don't have to buy Trojan and Magnums.
It's not always accessible. That's what I'm saying.
Abortion, I am fully against abortion unless it's something that is affecting your health. If it's your life or the child's life that you're carrying, and then that's your choice. But as far as, you know, everything else, obviously if you're like 4 weeks pregnant, there's no way that can save that child. So you have to save your life, because without you, that child's not going to be able to live, right? But in general, I'm against abortion because I believe that once you lay down with a man, and I'm going to touch on that because I can hear other people's thoughts. But once you lay, this is one side of it. If you have chosen to have sex with a man and you end up pregnant, then that's just the consequence of sex. If you get raped and you end up pregnant, please don't come for me. I can see people trolling already. Do not come.
You're really
for me.
hearing and seeing so many things.
I do not believe that you should get rid of that child, because to me, a child is a blessing. No matter what form they come to you in, it's a blessing. And it's going to be hard for you to deal with that situation if you were raped and you were not ready to have that child. But there is help out there. Find it. Don't be scared. Do not be ashamed. Find the help that you need. But that child did not ask to be here. At least give it a chance. Yeah, and that's what I feel about all of that stuff.
Maggie?
Oh, my turn to pick a question?
No. How do you feel about the what you said about her card?
I agree with everything, including your opinion about abortion. I saw this bumper sticker once that said, I noticed all the people who are for abortion have already been born. So it's just like, it makes sense. You're up for abortion and you will not abort it yourself. So I think abortion should. I do think it's a personal choice, but I'm against it. Condoms, use them. Birth control, never been on it. Don't know what I think about it just yet. That's a decision I'll make in the future. So. What was the other one? That's it.
Condoms.
Condoms.
Which
Somebody use them.
Use them, don't abuse them.
Yeah, don't abuse
Use them, don't abuse
No, I
them.
like
Yeah,
that.
That's nasty.
No, but people do it though.
People need help. And I think
Or
we need,
I've heard of condoms getting stuck in like the vagina.
no,
inside.
condoms get stuck. You can choke on a condom if you're giving oral
If you're giving
sex.
head.
Yeah.
How do you go to the hospital
also,
like, hey, doctor,
don't do any condom
No, the guy who got a
challenges.
vibrator. stuck in
Guys,
his ass.
that's so stupid.
Oh, the condom challenge? Did you see that?
It's
very
They'll
stupid.
snort the
It's
condom
not a
from this
toy.
end and then pull it out of this
No,
side.
don't
Yes,
put
they do
your
it.
head in the condom.
No, they would.
Yeah, like a balloon, and then they
Why
like
would
blow
you
it up
do
with
that?
their nose.
People are bored.
Oh my god. Anyway, I'm personally, I am pro-choice only because of this.
What does that mean?
Means that I believe in the right for abortion to be legal. And
Okay.
here is why. Me personally, mtu akiniuliza niende nipate abortion, me, I'll say no. But do I think that it's important to have that right and to be able to have access to do it safely and well? Yes, because the things that happen when you ban abortion is that it's going to happen. One, it's going to happen. Two, it's going to happen unsafely. Three, people are just 10 million more people are going to die over not having safe abortions than over having the option to have safe than to have the option to have safe abortions, regardless of whatever the circumstances is. Whether, because I know a girl in high school, by the time we finished graduating, she had like 10, 15 abortions. I said, my friend, what are you doing? Now when you want to have children, you won't be able to have children. Like, it just, like, it messes up, it has other consequences other than the child's life is lost. But I just don't, I think taking away that right that can do more damage than it will do good. And me personally, I don't know until I'm put in those shoes. What would I do? I don't know. Can I understand why some people would consider it? Yes. Can I understand why some people would do it? Yes. Do I think that there are other options? Absolutely. We can, give the child up for adoption. Like, there's other things that you can do. But I do think that the right for it to, the option for it to exist and to exist so that people can do it safely if they need to, I think that should exist. Because if you take it away, it's not, I just don't think it's worth the consequences that happen of having unsafe abortion.
At what point does abortion become murder?
Here's my thing. Those are big macro questions, and those are things that I do. What my personal belief is, once the child is conceived, that is a life that is bringing, and that is a life that God is intending to bring into this world. Whatever happens in that cycle, whether the child dies, or all the things that can happen. But I do believe that once it's conceived, it's a life, right? So, but my thing is this, I don't know, I've just always been like this. It's not for me to say what you're doing, to sit there and condemn you for doing something that's so personal that I cannot, until I'm put in those shoes, say this is what I would do and this is what I wouldn't do. And so therefore, I don't want to sit there and condemn and say it's murder, because I don't know. So I cannot say. Let me just shut my mouth, because I have logs. I have logs in my eye. Let me not pick your log in your eye, because I already have logs in my eye.
I think that we should teach our kids responsibility, because if you are, and like I said, I'm not talking about like a rape victim, for example, but if you
that's a whole nother thing. We shouldn't even include that.
Yeah, if we teach our kids responsibility, if we teach our kids about sex as we should, not this whole watered down nonsense. We really need to get into the details with our kids about what sex is and what the consequences of sex are,
and then they become irresponsible
because they get to a point where there's STDs. Pregnancies is not the only thing that they have to worry about.
That's true.
So I feel like that we should teach them, and that even if they are given a choice, they are responsible about it. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna keep having sex and I'm just gonna keep having abortions.
Because I had a friend who used to say that. We're like, oh, she used to, how girls we talk, and she's like, oh yeah, me and my boyfriend are having sex, da da da. We're like, okay, cool, like, sex, whatever. She's like, we're like, oh, so you guys use condoms? She said, no. I said, okay, so are you on birth control? She said, no. I said, okay. Does he pull out? She said, no. And we're like, okay, are you want to have a baby? She's like, no, I'm just going to get an abortion like my sister does. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, if you're big enough to lay in the bed and do the deed.
No, this is my thing. This, for me, it's super heartbreaking that sex has become this thing that's so it's like so regular, you know what I mean? It's like giving somebody a hug. Oh yeah, me and him, we had sex. Oh, me and her, yeah, we had sex. Oh wow. Sex is so regular now, and then it's become so fear-based, and then everybody wants to take the emotion out of it, because once you put a barrier between you and another person when you're supposed to be having a moment of connection, whatever the barrier is, whether you have birth control, because what are you trying to control? Control the fact that you and that other person can create something, which is having a child, right? You're trying to control that. That's it, right? What's a condom? It's a barrier to protect you from what this person has and what you have, and you creating. That's what it is. So for me, it breaks my heart that we're at this place where it's so fear-based. You know what I mean? There's so much fear in people that I want to do this thing. I want to have this connection, but not everything that comes with it. That's what breaks my heart. And for me, that hurts me so much, because I wish everybody could enjoy sex, and everybody knew they were at the place where they could have sex without fearing what that other person is gonna do to them. It's not supposed to be. That's supposed to be the one part of life where you actually have enjoyment and you feel safe and you feel comfortable and you feel vulnerable with whoever you're having sex with. But it's not that anymore for anybody, because you are on birth control. I with the condoms, with the this, with the UDE. What is it called? The UDE? Whatever it's called. Or you're getting shots or whatever. But it's just like, it's so sad. It's so sad, because you're supposed to be able to have that connection. And that's why nowadays it's even hard to see people in steady relationships. You're in and out of things with the next person and this and that, because you can't make a connection with anybody, because you're not fully invested in anything. Because you know there's so many options of how to get out of it. And even if you do have sex and you're doing it raw, let me run to CVS, Rite Aid, let me go Palm B. You're quick. You have now spent $50 in one morning. You have sex and it's called you $60 the next morning. What is that? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's what for me, I think, is to teach my kids. Sex is for those who are already completely ready. That way you don't need condom. That way you don't need birth control. So you don't have to control something that you want in the future, because you do want it. Maybe they don't. But if you do want a child, you can skip that part. You don't have to do that. You can get to where you want to be, have what you want to have, and create what you want to create.
Yeah, but I understand. But
because we made this mistake where we gave people so many options of how to get out of what has always been available for our people, and it's supposed to be for us. We're supposed to enjoy it.
I completely agree, but then my thing is also me, Silent, if I have a husband and I'm married, when I am married, I'm not gonna be wanting to have a baby every year. Does that mean that me and my husband are not going to be having sex?
Okay, then tell him to pull out.
No, yes, that's what he will be doing. But what I'm saying is, I don't think necessarily prevention of the prevention. What you're saying, yes, is key, and I get it and I completely understand. But the things that you can do, family planning is also important and necessary, because we all cannot be.
That's what I'm talking about, preparation.
But in a committed relationship and in a partnership, because we all can be popping out 10 kids, 15 kids, 20 kids, 30 kids. Hey, it's too much.
Why not? My grandmother did it. I don't understand.
We don't live in those times anymore. Do you have the money to support all
That's what I'm saying. Are you prepared? That's the thing. Sex is not, but sex is not for everybody. Their body naturally, if your child is not supposed to be here, people have miscarriages. On their own. They don't even have to go and get the abortion. By the time they get there, they're like, oh, the baby's gone already. You had a miscarriage. At that moment, what can you do? There's nothing you can do at that moment. You were gonna go and get abortion, they tell you have what do you do now? What do you do now? That's what I'm saying. It's difficult.
That was the situation for Nanu.
Who? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's difficult already without us adding all this stuff. It's already hard as it is. So we just need to raise our kids better in the sense where they know this is not supposed to be something you're scared of. You're supposed to have somebody and trust this person enough to know that whatever happens, you both are ready. That's what you're supposed to do. It's not this thing where you can have sex, here's the condom, sky head, son. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Here the condoms.
And it's more enjoyable when you're not worried about all like the other stuff. Thing. And it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's not even that. But even if you watch movies, the father always, at a certain point that the son gets to, he brings him a box of condoms. Right? Have you seen movies where they bring? I think it was like there was a movie on VH1. Love doesn't cost a thing. That was the sex talk. He was like, yes, son, here you go. You know what I mean?